which we can easily make out that which provider is doing how well in different circles, which providers are putting more capacity, and they have been showing a consistent improvement in performance over the months. All of that data is already available. The challenge is that it's not been made accessible to users in an easy way, because it's sort of there in PDF formats on the TRI website, and the effort is also small in terms of, so as with some students, we are actually building a small app which will basically take up all of this data from the TRI website, and it will provide this data easily to the consumers. So you can also think of it as a consumer-driven label, which is based on available data. Then the TRI chairman also talked about open data, which they are trying to open up from places like mice, from the mice speed reported data. So in the same way, there are other data sources also. Once it comes back, we'll take a look. But there are other data sources which talk about how many base stations are there in every circle, and you can use all of that to find out many more performance measurements also, in terms of average subscribers per circle, for example, which can all improve in terms of the reporting which we can generate. One interesting point which the TRI chairman also mentioned, and which I think we can keep pushing this point and hopefully it will get accommodated, is this whole notion where he was saying that he was talking about the laws of physics and why minimum speeds can't be guaranteed. So he's right that, I mean, if you're moving, you can't guarantee that. But in some of our studies, we actually found that a big reason for poor performance is also just poor network configuration at the provider's end. And just simple tuning of parameters can actually solve these problems. So I won't go into the details, but basically something which we've seen happening very often is that even if your phone is stationary, and even if, let's say, you're just a 2G subscriber, even then you will disconnect from 2G, your phone will try searching for other towers which are providing better, which have a better signal strength, and it will try to reconnect. And this very often ends up in a hysteresis, that it ends up in a loop, it connects, disconnects, connects, disconnects, and especially if it's at borderline areas. And all of these are actually configuration parameters which, if done in a more intelligent way, can actually solve these issues. So one more aspect that even earlier and now we continue to advocate is to expand the set of parameters which the providers are reporting to TRI, to include something called IRATs, which are inter-radio access technology handovers. And inclusion of some of these parameters can actually help build other indicators other than minimum speed, for example, which we can actually also use to compare the performance of different providers. So basically, on this app that we're actually trying to build, our vision is that we can actually we'll be able to provide very detailed information just based on available data. So let's say for Airtel in Delhi, we'll be able to provide information that what's the reported download or upload bandwidth, latency, and so on, right? What are the trends? That has this been improving in Delhi or not, right? Or how does it compare with national averages? Yeah, and all of this can be done based on available data. So till the time consumer labels don't become a reality, we can actually provide these labels through a very simple app itself. So I will not talk so much about this other aspect, but what we can also do in the long term is, something that we can push providers towards is that they are providing aggregate information to the to TRI, but they are perfectly also capable of measuring performance at the per user basis, and that will actually be very radical if implemented, because what that will mean is that the user can actually can get reports from the provider that exactly what bandwidth was provided to the user, what latency was provided to the user, and that can be compared also with the values which are being reported at an aggregate level to TRAI. Right. So just to summarize, that a lot of information for labels is already available. It's just a matter of figuring out how to simplify it and how to print it and make it available to the point of sale, so consumers get more aware. And there are several improvements, however, that we can suggest. Certain indicators are not being reported to TRI; those can be included. some indicators, measurements, methodologies can be improved, some indicators can be made more specific. And till the time broadband labels don't become a reality, as part of this whole consumer movement, we are actually will be releasing this app. We've already started work on that. That all this information can become easily accessible to consumers even today. Yeah. So I will stop now and you can take questions.
On the process side.